Uh, Hello, folks. This is your boy Quan here, and today I figured I'd go into a nice little detail about how to um, be an awesome spar, aka sparring etiquette. Now, my credentials or my experiences would be like I've been doing martial arts for about 11 years, and one of my favorite things to do is to either roll or spar. And the reason why I love that so much is it pretty much helps you put application in a kind of stress free environment. I put free as in like, you don't have to worry about life or death situations, but you still need to kind of treat it as such. When I spar, when I roll with someone, I'm one half trying to go for a certain goal, but the other half I'm trying to learn and make sure that my reflexes, my techniques, and having a good experience is all in that awesome pot. And from all of my things that I've seen, both what I've done and experienced and seen other people do and see them experience, I kind of have a little bit of a small list that can maybe help you become a better spar. Now, first, what I'd like to go for is when you're sparring, when you're about to spar with somebody, remember you have to observe your partner. Then apply a certain strategy, power, or skill as appropriate with that partner. Now, I put an emphasis, observe partner. The reason why is when you go into any kind of sparring match, that is not truly your opponent, that is your partner. The reason why is they're helping you fine tune your skills for a certain kind of fighter that might move like them or that might have certain traits that they have that you have to prepare for. Thus, please give them respect. Please make sure their experience is joyful as always. But after that, you also should apply the certain power, certain skill, and certain strategy that is appropriate for that partner. Specify those is most of the time when I spar, it'll usually be in the context of I'm sparring with almost an all ages kind of sparring ground, and I see that with other places that I've been with too. And a good thing you always have to keep in mind is that when you're sparring with someone, you have to make sure you apply your power appropriately. The same way that I might spar with someone who is maybe the same size, possibly the same body type and skill level, I would not give that same power where I wouldn't hit the other person just as hard if they happen to be, a little kid, or if they happen to be someone who is not as strong or is not as experienced. That's just being mean. That's like playing out bullying. I mean, granted, there might be times that the instructor might have you spar with someone just so they can not only get a taste of what it could be sparring against someone who is a certain size, a certain strength. But even then, manage your power level to a certain degree. I'm very much a big fan that you really don't have to hit as hard as you think you do. Like if I'm sparring with Mike Tyson and I know that he's giving me a soft hook and it hits me on the chin, I know for a fact that if we're going in a real fight, he might be able to make me stumble. So there's no leave your ego at the door when you're sparring. Like, don't try to be like, I need to prove myself. You kind of do, but do it in a nice way. Do it in a nice way. And this also goes with strategy. Now, if you're going with somebody who is, same experience level, same power level as you, your strategy should be, how can you take out someone? How can you spar with someone who might be a mirror match for you? But if they happen to be a little bit lesser skilled, then I would suggest you focus on applying a strategy involving, okay, if I was sparring someone or if I was fighting someone who was like this, how should I approach this? How should I take it out? And then after you've done that, maybe 1 round or 2 rounds, the next time you see him or next time you go against that body type, try to work on a certain weakness. And I'm pretty much looping a lot of my rules kind of together, but there's just like how passionate I like to kind of just bounce around from here and there. But first one, observe your partner, because y'all are partners. Then apply the right strategy, power level, and skill level that fits that partner. Second one I like to go is go hard if equal or greater partner. Still have a balance, still have a good balance. Don't have to go too hard unless it is for a test or competition match. So, what I mean by go hard if equal is pretty much, of course, if you're going with somebody who is the same skill level as you, maybe they might be a little bit more skilled than you, maybe they might be a little bit more stronger than you can go a little bit harder with that. But even then, like I said, I think having 70 to 80% power with your strikes combined with good enough speed, you can make a lot of people stumble. Like, you don't have to commit 100% unless you know you can get the killing blow. And even then, there are times where you don't need to go that far. And I mean knockout blow. Killing blow sounds a little dark. Anyway, on top of that, there might be moments to where you need to train to go hard because you might be doing this, to get ready for a test that you have to go up for. There might be a time where you have to get ready for competition, especially if you're going into like actual amateur or professional matches. You might have to be able to go hard and to be able to take that harsh treatment as well, only because the possibility is when you go into competition, you are going there to win. And you're not going to go there to win by showing a little bit of humbleness with your control of power. Now, if you're trying to make somebody stop a fight, then you have to make sure you apply the right kind of pressure, the right kind of technique, the right kind of rules and understanding of what you can and cannot do to win that match or to go for a certain test. And that's a good thing to keep in mind. But remember, have that balance. You never want to go too far. Always think about trying to go, I guess, a little bit below Batman. Always, yeah. Because the joke is with Batman is like Batman never takes out anybody, but he does make them go to the hospital. Think if you need to go that hard, go a little bit lower below than Batman. The only time you should be going to Batman levels of, I guess, martial artsness is if it's for self-defense. And even then, that still is an interesting gray area depending on what could or could not happen. Always monitor, always observe, always know what the stakes are. Have everything on the background of that. The last thing that I have is, if sparring with a less experienced person, guide them while working on your weaknesses. And I think out of all the things that I've seen when it comes to sparring or grappling, this is the thing that I think a lot of people slack on, to be honest. Like, when they go in, I do appreciate that when they go in, they want to work on, some of the techniques. They want to make sure that they still got it, in a way. But when you are sparring with someone who doesn't have as much experience or doesn't have as much time as you do sparring or grappling, you have to tone your skill level down just a little bit and help them improve and have a good experience. Now, that doesn't mean you completely forget that this is also your time to train. I'm not saying that. But when you are teaching somebody something, you are also learning how to apply that technique, because when you teach it, you are pretty much making it in a way that other people can understand how to apply it. And because of that, it makes you know that technique a little bit more. And because of that, you become a better practitioner of the martial art. You also become a better teacher of that martial art. But if that happens and you've guided this person, that does not mean you also get the slack either. You should still have your guard up. You still have some good foundations. However, you should also work on your certain weaknesses. There have been multiple times that when I sparred, I'm using myself as an example. There are multiple times that when I've sparred, there have been moments where I was fighting someone who wasn't at a good power level, so I could take their shots, and may not have been as experienced as me, but I can still try to work on some of my weaknesses. One of my weaknesses I might take would be like, I need to work on a little bit more of my footwork, or I need to work on a little bit more of how to dodge certain attacks, because I do want to be able to be at that moment where I can just, dodge like Muhammad Ali or other awesome fighters, to where it just seems like they are in the Matrix, to where just every hit you're throwing at them, they're just like, no. I won't be able to do that. And to be able to do that, you have to start with levels that are manageable, levels that are easy, and then steadily increase those levels to someone who's difficult, someone who's actually trying to take your head off, if you will. But I'm starting gradually, especially when I spar. So when I spar with someone who is not as inexperienced as I am, usually that's what my focus goes to having, working on good footwork, working on dodging capabilities, working on, maybe possibilities of counter striking when it happens. But all in all, also make sure that everyone has a good experience and have a good time. And the reason why I stress that with people who are higher experienced and working with lower experienced people is the main mission of sparring and grappling is to help everyone be able to learn, be able to apply, and be able to get better, so that when the time comes, they can apply what they need to apply on an actual bad guy. And I want you to keep that in mind, because for every person that is not sparring, for every person that is not grappling, for every person that is not putting in that time to get better so they can possibly defend themselves, that is a person that we have lost. That is a person that is gone to the side of the enemy. The reason why I say it's gone to the side of the enemy is the enemy wants less people to be trained. The enemy wants less people to not be confident, to be able to handle themselves. So, if someone happens to be in a sparring match and they're not having a good time, and they decide to walk out or not test out sparring, or think that they're bad at sparring, something needs to change, or we have lost that person, which means we have lost the cause of spreading the martial arts. Because the main thing, and I feel is the main thing, is that I think everyone should have some martial arts techniques. I think everyone should have a martial arts background. It'll help people so much. But we have to start from small. We have to make sure that everyone has a good experience with sparring. Everyone has a good experience with the martial arts. Because if they have a good experience with martial arts, they have a good time, they learn, they get better, but they also have a good dose of humble pie every once in a while, but they want to stay. That's good. That means that there's hope. That means there's hope that this person can be able to help people out. There's hope that one day, we don't have to worry about this person being jumped, or this person possibly having some possible issues on the field, because they already can solve it, or they can use their creativity and their mind to solve that problem when that arises. With that being said, those are what I think should be included in sparring etiquette. Keep those things in mind. If you have any questions, please let me know, especially martial arts questions. Like I said, I'm a big nerd on a lot of this stuff. I've been doing martial arts for 11 years, and even though I'm not going to the dojo right now, I'm still doing solo training. And when when I do, I'll jump back right into it. And of course, every now and then I do love the spar. So I love the spar. I love the spar. I just love martial arts too, but I just love to spar. It is a very awesome thing. It's pretty much one of my things I like to say will put me in flow state is when I'm sparring with someone and I happen to just be in the moment. Like things pop up. I have a nice little kiddish, childlike manner, but also taken seriously with my experience and of course my size. It's always an awesome thing to feel. To me, it is an awesome thing to feel. But I encourage it, if you're interested in martial arts, also please hit me up. I'm not only an advocate for what spots to go for, what martial arts to go for, I myself am also able to teach martial arts. I've been doing that for a good bit of years now. I have experience with teaching some striking, teaching some grappling, teaching some self-defense, even teaching a little bit of stick work. And I'm all for that. So if you want to learn some of those things, please hit me up. Or if you just want to find out, maybe you want to train like a monk, maybe you want to get the martial arts on the fitness level, hit me up as well. I can help you out, be able to move, be able to flex like a actual fighter without getting beat up. This is your boy Quan. Be an awesome day. Deuces.